we keep talking about going back to the drawing board. I've heard about the drawing board in Nigeria for over 30 years. Okay, after every tournament where we fail to do well, we say let's go back to the drawing board. Do we really have this drawing board? And if we don't qualify, what should we do from now?
I think we should. I know it will be impossible for us to have now, but I think it's time we have a certain standard. You know, first of all, we should look at developing the league. That's the drawing board you ought to get to.
Yeah.
You should look at developing the league.
Mm.
And to develop the league, you need to develop the academies.
Mm.
You need to. I think NTA used to televise,
League matches, yeah.
matches. We need to bring back that.
Okay.
Bring that back. We need to, put things in place that would ensure that we follow sports at the grassroots level, and we need to remove politics from it, because there's a certain level of distrust. I'm talking about the drawing board now that we ought to go to.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of distrust in the Nigerian league. That's why you see that. Because look at the top teams in the world; they have very good leagues.
Yeah.
They have, in fact, having a good league, because it's like your league is like the firewood or the fuel that you put in your engine. It's from there you get the best, materials to fuel your national team. We don't have that.
Okay, see, I have a question. It's a thought, but let me frame it as a question. If a player like Tolu Arokodare, for example, signs for Wolves, has not scored a goal for Wolves in the league, played 3 minutes or so in their last game. Samuel Chukwueze has not played for Fulham this season.
What are they
If there's
doing?
a player in the Nigerian league who has scored 15 league goals, should
telling
that
you,
player not replace them?
You understand? So it's like we're not serious people. We are not serious people. That's it. I just gave you an instance of Benin Insurance players standing in the team bus after training. That's absurd. That's, I felt really bad.
Yeah.
It was a show of shame. We ought to have a standard league. We ought to have an academy system that fuels the league, and from there we can get our best players. And then when you have quality players whose ages and injury history can be easily verified, then you start getting top clubs from Saudi Arabia, because the Saudi Arabian league is very, very competitive. Start having club sides from England, Italy, France, Spain, buying Nigerian players and actually playing them. But then the first thing we need to do now is to start calling for the sack or the resignation, the voluntary resignation of the people that have failed us. We cannot miss out from 2 World Cups. And then it's a failure. Like, we should have that standard. I was talking to a BIU student the other day, and then she said that their department is so competitive that if you have carryovers, you have to repeat the full year. That's what she said. And I was like, oh, you guys have this standard in BIU. That's the standard we should also, we should have something like that. Like the NFL president should just say, oh, Nigeria did not qualify. I'm not doing again.
He resigned, yes.
When you start having people taking responsibilities for the failure,
and then the sports minister too is also held accountable.
You get the point, because there are things that should fuel it. We had 8 years to prepare. Now we missed out on the last World Cup. We should have, been angry. We are playing footballers like, look at Trustekong is way past his prime. Respect to him, but look at other
Saudi
national
Arabia
teams.
now. Yes.
Look at other national teams. Will Trustekong start for Spain? Or do we? We shouldn't be looking at Botswana.
Will he even start for Egypt or Algeria?
We should not be looking at.
Yes.
We have this imposter syndrome in Nigeria. We tend to belittle ourselves a lot. We are always trying to fight with Botswana, Rwanda, Djibouti, or Mauritania. We should be looking at Germany. There was a point in time Germany did not win 3 games. It was like they wanted to even riot in Germany. Like, why is our? And they did not play small teams, though. They played big teams, or even teams that are average, and then they did not win for 3 matches. It caused an uproar.
Football is one of the most unifying elements in Nigeria, and for us to not go to the World Cup twice,
it's a taboo. Even once is a taboo.
It means that a child who is 8 years old would have never seen Nigeria play.
No, the child will be 12.
will be
by the
12
time,
by the
if
time.
that, I'm not even sure. These guys are not serious.
It is
I'm not
it is
sure.
terrible. It is
I'm not
terrible.
sure.
We hope that we're able to have a national conversation around the Super Eagles, around our football, and how we're able to move our football forward. But my final thoughts on this, and this is what I think: if a player does well in the Nigerian league, there's nothing stopping that player from playing in the African Cup of Nations, for example.
Of course. South Africa have already hacked
And
it.
there you can sell them to the world. It's a
You get the
stage
point.
for the world to see them. But when we do not bring our local league players into the national team or give them opportunities, then the league would never develop at the end of the day. Also, the private sector has to come into the Nigerian league and also play their part. These clubs are owned by state government.
Yes,
We have a few now being owned by private individuals, but the state government ownership, we can bring in private arms like you have in Europe, and I think that would also help us develop our league and of course develop our football academies across
they
the
are a
country.
must. It's
Football
like,
academies across
listen,
the
listen.
country.
It's just like saying you need doctors and you don't have medical schools. You need lawyers,
Of
you don't
course.
have law schools.
Of
That's
course.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, we are not serious. I'm saying this. We are not serious.
Yeah.
We should be angry about this, because football is the most unifying activity in Nigeria. You see, our traditional rulers, our spiritual leaders, our political leaders, they ought to sit down. Everyone, even the stakeholder, the businessmen, the government officials, the private entities, they ought to sit down.
Everybody should get involved. Yeah.
This is what brings us together.
Yeah.
They are even the most vicious ethnic bigots would support the Super Eagles when they are playing, even if it's somebody that they detest that is playing.
Of course.
Whose tribe they detest that is playing.
Of course.
They will support that person. So we don't have an excuse at this stage. We don't.
There's this funny story of I think it was in 1996 Olympics when Nigeria miraculously came back to did a comeback against Brazil, and there was this funny story of a Muslim, an Alhaji, who was watching the game, and when Kanu Nwankwo equalized and of course scored the winning goal for Nigeria, the Alhaji joined in singing "It's a miracle working God." You understand?
You see the beauty of
it was that much passion
that
Nigerians have for football, but it's unfortunate
you get the point.
that we may not. And of course, like we just said, right? If you look at these players in Europe, look at a Bukayo Saka or an Eberechi Eze or a Marcus Rashford,
Michael Olise,
you hear that they joined Arsenal at 6 or at 7. You can see the process.
Their mental health history is known.
Everything.
Their physical health history is known. Their injury record is there. Their age records are also there. But in Nigeria, I've been with sports lovers, football lovers from other states in Nigeria. We've talked about football. Each time the team is relegated, you start hearing, our state government did not play politics. They should have given this or given that. Now, these are allegations that have not been proven, but that tells you that this is the expectation of the fans. They want their team management to bribe their way to victory, and then this is because the way the league is run it allows for such conspiracies. For such conspiracy theories. We don't need that. We need to copy the best league in the world, which is the Premier League. All clubs jointly own it. Each one has a share. For a development to be made, you need 14 votes, which is more than 2/3. You need 14 votes. They sit down, they analyze it, and then it comes out. That's a way to move the league forward. Also, there are also mandatory requirements of football clubs having academies. You understand? So we have to look for a way to go, even if it means that our government would make losses or subsidize the cost of football academies, or the state government should just leave these football clubs alone for people who are in the private sector who want to run the club because they want to make profit, because football brings money.
Of course,
they should do that. I don't want my calculator to be. There's something else I wanted to calculate today, but
because the truth is that if we develop these club sides, they can in turn generate revenue.
They generate revenue
to run themselves.
Image
because
making for the country.
Right now, it looks like it is the state government that pays monthly salaries to these
You
players like
understand the
civil
point?
servants, and it's not
When
it's not encouraging at all.
when we hear Brazil, we tend to think about their football. Most Nigerians do not know if the Brazilian government operates they have an authoritative regime.
Yeah.
They don't know if they operate a capitalist or socialist system.
No, we
We
don't.
don't know. We just see their football team.
Yeah.
This is like the easiest way, apart from our music
To
and
market
to an
your
extent
country. Yes.
Nollywood now,
Yeah.
to market the country.
Yeah.
Good footballers who are. There was a point in time Osimhen was playing for Napoli
Yeah.
and Galatasaray. Now you
Yeah.
see people with his mask
Yes.
in stadiums. Thousands of people chanting his
Galatasaray
name.
suddenly has a large followership in Nigeria, in
You
fact.
get the point.
Yes.
You get the point. I'm even going to buy their jersey tomorrow.
Yeah.
You understand the point? We need to have tens, dozens of players like Osimhen outside the country. We need to follow up these things. Our press has to be proactive. They need to be putting, because we have the number on social media.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be following the league, following our players, promoting it. But how do you do that when the management are not serious? How? Look, now, imagine we are playing against Lesotho, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. We are not even qualifying for the World Cup. What is my motivation to now come out and say Osimhen is this and that? No, you tell me, what is my motive? I'm just angry. I'm not. If I even drink, let's say I drink any of this energy fizzy drink now, it will be bitter in my mouth. I'm that pained.